Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will be talking about the mystery of MH370. The disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 remains one of the greatest mysteries in aviation history.
Breaking news tonight, a Malaysia Airlines flight.
Malaysia Airlines Flight
MH370.
Flight MH370
disappeared en route to Beijing.
70, we are ready, requesting flight number 310 to Beijing.
Malaysia 370.
Flight MH370 ended in the southern Indian Ocean.
Despite years of searching and numerous theories, the fate of the plane and the 239 people on board remains unknown. On March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 vanished during its journey from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, and the troubling event became quickly known as the MH370 disappearance. The Boeing 777 was carrying 227 passengers and 12 crew members at the time of the incident, prompting a massive search operation spanning from Central Asia to the Indian Ocean west of Australia. But what happened to MH370? Was it a catastrophic mechanical failure or a deliberate act of sabotage? Did the plane crash into the ocean or land on a remote island? Many theories have been put forward, but the truth remains elusive. Some have speculated that the plane was hijacked by terrorists or rogue pilots, and others have suggested that it was shot down by military forces. Some have even proposed that it was abducted by aliens. The perplexing nature of the disappearance of Flight 370 has made it one of the most well-known cases of missing aircraft in history. But to have a glimpse at the truth, let's look at all that has been uncovered so far. At 12:41 a.m. local time, Flight 370 departed and quickly ascended to its cruising altitude of 10,700 meters, 35,000 feet by 1:01 a.m. The Aircraft Communication Addressing and Reporting System, ACARS, responsible for relaying the aircraft's performance data, transmitted its final signal at 1:07 a.m. before being switched off. Following this, the crew's last voice communication occurred at 1:19 a.m. And at 1:21 a.m., the plane's transponder, which communicates with air traffic control, was disabled, right before entering Vietnamese airspace over the South China Sea. At 1:30 a.m., Malaysian military and civilian radar began tracking the aircraft as it made a sharp turn and flew southwest over the Malay Peninsula, then northwest over the Strait of Malacca. The aircraft continued to fly until 2:22 a.m., when Malaysian military radar lost contact with it over the Andaman Sea. The Inmarsat satellite, which remained stationary in orbit over the Indian Ocean, picked up hourly signals from Flight 370 and recorded its final transmission at 8:11 a.m. Following the disappearance of Flight 370, initial searches were focused on the South China Sea. However, it was later discovered that the aircraft had turned westward shortly after the transponder was turned off, leading search efforts to shift to the Strait of Malacca and the Andaman Sea. On March 15th, a week after the plane went missing, the Inmarsat contact was revealed. Although it was not possible to pinpoint the exact location of the plane, analysis of the signal revealed that the aircraft could have been located anywhere along two arcs. The first arc stretched from Java southward into the Indian Ocean, southwest of Australia, while the second stretched northward across Asia from Vietnam to Turkmenistan. Based on this information, the search area was expanded to include the Indian Ocean southwest of Australia on the southern arc and Southeast Asia, Western China, the Indian subcontinent, and Central Asia on the northern arc. On March 24th, Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak announced that, following analysis of the final signals by Inmarsat and the UK Air Accidents Investigation Branch, AAIB, Flight 370 had crashed in a remote area of the Indian Ocean approximately 2,500 kilometers, 1,500 miles southwest of Australia. It was deemed highly unlikely that any of the passengers or crew had survived the crash. Searches discovered debris considered to originate from the crash with strong certainty. However, the search for debris from Flight 370 was severely hindered by the remote location of the crash site. On April 6th, an Australian ship detected acoustic pings, which were believed to be originating from the flight recorder, about 2,000 kilometers, 1,200 miles northwest of Perth, Western Australia. The last ping was heard on April 8th, and further analysis by the AAIB of the Inmarsat data revealed a partial signal from the plane at 8:19 a.m. that was consistent with the location of the acoustic pings. However, the flight recorder was likely at the end of its battery life. As a result, a robotic submarine was deployed for further searches. Unfortunately, the pings were spread over a large area, and the submarine failed to locate any debris. Additionally, it was found that a faulty cable in the acoustic equipment could have produced the pings, further complicating the search efforts. The first piece of debris was found on July 29, 2015, when the right-wing flaperon was discovered on a beach on the French island of Réunion, which was about 3,700 kilometers, 2,300 miles west of the search area. In the following 18 months, 26 more pieces of debris were found on the shores of Madagascar, Mauritius, Mozambique, South Africa, and Tanzania. 3 of the 27 pieces were confirmed to have come from Flight 370, while 17 were thought to have likely not come from the plane. 2 pieces were from the cabin interior, suggesting that the plane had broken up, but it was impossible to determine whether the plane had broken up in the air or upon impact with the ocean. Researchers concluded that the plane had not undergone a controlled descent, as evidenced by the study of the Réunion wing flaperon and a piece of the right wing flap found in Tanzania. According to one modeling study conducted before the flaperon's discovery, the possibility of a vertical impact with the water could explain the lack of physical evidence. The debris locations were used to narrow the search area in the Indian Ocean, as some possible crash sites could have been unlikely to produce debris that would have drifted to Africa. In January 2017, the Malaysian, Australian, and Chinese governments halted their search efforts for Flight 370. However, Ocean Infinity, an American company, was granted permission by the Malaysian government to continue the search until May 2017. Unfortunately, the Malaysian Transport Ministry announced that they would no longer pursue the search. The Malaysian government released its final report on Flight 370 in July 2018. While mechanical malfunction was considered unlikely, the report suggests that the change in flight path was likely due to manual inputs. Nonetheless, the investigators could not establish a definite reason for the disappearance of Flight 370. Even with this conclusion, several people feel differently and have other theories as to what happened to the flight. Shortly after the aircraft disappeared, rumors of terrorism emerged, with some suggesting the possibility of a jihadist attack. Media mogul Rupert Murdoch even tweeted that the disappearance confirms jihadists turning to make trouble for China and speculated that the flight might have been hidden in northern Pakistan like bin Laden. These remarks were characterized as conspiracy theories, adding to the already bewildering mystery surrounding the disappearance. In the following months, a Russian newspaper endorsed a similar theory, claiming that unknown terrorists had hijacked the plane, flown it to Afghanistan, and held the crew and passengers hostage. According to conspiracy-focused internet sites, many also believe that the official statement that Flight 370 crashed into the Indian Ocean is a blatant cover-up. They argue that since a Boeing 777 does not have the structural integrity to survive such an impact, it would have broken into tens of thousands of pieces that would be easily found by search teams or seen washing up on the regional shores. However, the discovery of several pieces of aircraft over the years has weakened these criticisms. Harvard professor Cass Sunstein believes that the interest in alternative theories can be attributed to conflicting information initially released by the Malaysian government, which creates uncertainty and leads people to seek a target for their anger and fear. Another conspiracy theory has suggested the possibility that the plane was captured by the United States and flown to the military base on Diego Garcia, or that it had landed directly on instructions. One element supporting this theory is the co-pilot's mobile phone contact and the plane's westward turn, both of which aligned with a flight path towards the island. There were also allegations that the captain trained on a flight simulator to land on runways in the Indian Ocean region, including Diego Garcia. However, these claims were disputed by the FBI, which found nothing suspicious in its analysis of the flight simulator. Despite this, a former French airline boss has now claimed that the plane was shot down by the US military near their Diego Garcia base, adding a new twist to the MH370 mystery. Various news outlets such as ABC News and the Los Angeles Times have also discussed the possibility of a simple hijacking. Some speculate that the hijackers may have taken the plane to a remote island, but no group has claimed responsibility, and there has been no confirmation from Malaysian officials. On another note, unofficial researchers have identified more than 600 possible runways where the plane may have landed. However, the credibility of several hijacking theories has decreased following the discovery of the first definitive fragments of the MH370 wreckage in July 2015. Another hypothesis is that a meteor might have struck the plane. However, the statistical probability of this is extremely low. An individual received unusual voicemails and texts in March 2018, around the 4th anniversary of Flight 370's disappearance. The messages contained coordinates for a location in Indonesia close to where the plane vanished, and were in Morse code suggesting an alien abduction. This generated significant media attention, as the recipient also claimed that someone had taken photographs of his house. Although this was never conclusively proven, the calls were made through a VoIP service and traced to 2 hotels in Port Blair, but the identity of the caller remains uncertain. Investigators ultimately dismissed the phone calls as most likely being a prank or hoax. As the years go by, the mystery only deepens, leaving family members of the victims and the aviation community at large with more questions than answers. Until concrete evidence is found, the fate of MH370 will continue to haunt us, a reminder of the fragility of human life and the mysteries that still elude our understanding. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more. Stay safe out there.